morning, it's me again, Derek. Another little daily video. What I want to talk about today is corruption. Corruption in our assembly, parties and that are corrupt. And the reason why these parties get corrupt is because of money. You see, whenever you see anything going on around the world, it comes with this, with the spike, with all of it, I'm talking about the spike. But all of this stuff, always look to what the underlying condition is, what's the underlying narrative, and so far all I can say is that the narrative is all about the money. Follow the yellow brick road, all about the money. The love of money is the root of all evil. Even the war that's going on now between Ukraine and Russia, most of it is actually propagated. And it's media propagated, but it's all about money. It's all about corruption. What no one actually realizes is that the Ukraine was actually a money laundering country for the Bidens, and for a whole bunch of things. But unfortunately, we're stuck with having to deal with the consequences. It's supposedly that the West is democratic. No, all these leaders that are saying, oh no, we're democratic, they've actually lost the plot. They're corrupt, and it's all because of the money they've been paid off. And when your government is living on handouts from another source, and when you've got unregulated career politicians who get uncapped salaries, uncapped money, who start off in the whole thing, with an average salary, but end up being multimillionaires, then you've got to realize, then you've got to think to yourself, but why? What are they doing while they're in office? Because they're supposed to be in office to serve the people. But then the whole money thing comes into effect, and they start loving it. That's why, as an independent, one of our big things is, and it's the group of independents around Northern Ireland, is we want to cap salaries. We want to cap the salaries, obviously in line with inflation, but between 35,000 to 55,000 per annum. Okay, that's the cap. There's nothing else, because at the end of the day, you're a servant of the people. And what we also want to do is that during this time, if you want to pay towards your pension or towards this and that, it must come out of your salary that you earn. There mustn't come out over and above stuff to pay for your pension, to pay for this, pay for that. No. Your salary, once it's paid into your account, obviously it's yours to do with what you want. So if you want to take out, pensions and what have you, go for it. Do whatever you want. But that's the cap. That's what we want to do. And also, absolute power corrupts absolutely. And career politicians end up with a whole bunch of power because they work their way through, and it becomes an absolute power grab. Because they become career politicians and they stay in power forever. They never get taken out. Now, what we want to do as well is we want to push a 2-term limit on every politician that's running. Why? Because that way, once you've finished your 2 terms, you get out. Let somebody else come in, let them be voted in on merit, and the people must always have a say. They must have a say in who they vote for. Because number one, the reason why we are independent and independents around the country, we all stand together, by the way. And the reason why we're independents and what we stand for is you're voting for that person. You're not voting for a party. You're voting for that person who will then stand in office representing, like obviously me, I'll represent Fermanagh. Somebody else will represent, somebody else, like Derry and what have you. And we'll all stand and we'll vote together on those issues, but we're representing then obviously our provinces, okay, our constituencies. So if Derry, the Derry constituency is, they disagree with Fermanagh, that's fine, but I'm representing Fermanagh and South Tyrone, and then obviously somebody else will there, and then we'll vote, and then obviously the majority vote will win. And it's the same thing with who becomes the First Minister. The First Minister will be a people vote the people will then vote, right, because we'll put them up. We'll decide, okay, well, obviously, and then we'll put it to the people again, a referendum around the country. Who do you want to lead as First Minister? And everything then will be around people. And the First Minister will only be allowed to run for 2 terms. And then thereafter, he's got to step down and somebody else must take the place. And then, obviously do it that way. And every single term, after his 5 years that he's served, he must go again, must do another referendum to see if he runs a second term. And that way, the people will always have the power and the say-so. That is called democracy, and that's where we want to go through. That's just the way that's one of the things that we want to do as well with Northern Ireland, is we want to bring it down to democratic elections and a democratic process. That's it. First Minister is always going to be voted in by the people, for the people. That is the motto. So thank you so much for listening. Like I said, the love of money is the root of all evil. Money itself is not, but the way things are going is, obviously everything is going to go digital, and what they want to do is they want to bring everything digital, because it's going to be like Facebook. If they don't like what you have to say and all of that, then they will stop paying. They'll just put a block on you like they do with Facebook. They'll restrict you, and so obviously until you apologize, oh no, so sorry, this and that. Now what we want to do in Northern Ireland is we want to stop that, because we still believe as independents, we believe that cash is still king. Cash is king. We want to make sure that we don't want a cashless society. That'll go against your freedoms. It really will, and you'll be dictated to. You don't want to be dictated to. You want to be able to say, you want to live your life the way you want to live it, obviously within the law. The law is supposed to protect, not the law is supposed to protect us, not dominate us. That's the difference between a democracy and a dictatorship. Okay, so in this next election, please, guys, have a look at what's going on around you, and until next time, thank you so much for listening, and I will bring you updates every single day, because at the end of the day, that's what we want to do. We want to make sure that you're cared for. Thank you so much, and I'll be speaking to you again soon. Thank you very much.